Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we will discuss the second case of conic section, that is the ellipse. The ellipse is a closed curve like this and contains two vertices. The line joining the two vertices is called the major axis and has length 2a, and this the distance from the vertex V and the center is called A. This point B is called the center. A line, a perpendicular line joining B and B dash is called 2B and has the name minor axis. So the length of minor axis is also 2B. We have also two foci. The distance between each focus and the center is C. So we have two foci F and F dash. The distance between the two foci is 2C. The idea of ellipse is any point on the closed curve of the ellipse or any point B has distance from the first focus D1 and distance from the second focus F dash is called D2. The sum of D1 and D2 is always constant. Now we are going to discuss two basic cases of the ellipse. In the first case, we will locate the center at the origin and the major axis along the x-axis. So the equation in this case has the form x squared over a squared plus y squared over b squared equal 1. A is half length of the major axis and B is half length of the minor axis. So in the case of ellipse, A is always bigger than B. Because the major axis is along x-axis, the vertices has the coordinates a and 0 and minus a and 0. The foci has the coordinates c and 0 and minus c and 0. We have two y-intercepts, the terminals of the minor axis. This y-intercept has the coordinates 0 and b and 0 and minus b. Because the length of minor axis is 2b, we always has a relation between C and A and B in the ellipse, that is C squared equal A squared minus B squared. The second case, we will locate the origin also at the center also at the origin and the major axis along y axis. In this case, the ellipse will be vertical. Unlike the first case, which is horizontal. So in this case, we have vertical shape of ellipse. Also, the equation in this case will be x squared over b squared plus y squared over a squared equal 1. Please observe that A is always in ellipse bigger than B. So in this case, the bigger under y square, the bigger under y square, and in the first case, in the second case, but in the first case, the bigger is under x square. Also, we have these features, the vertices is 0 and a and 0 and minus a in the second case, because the major axis is along y-axis and the foci 0 and c and 0 and minus c. Also, we have two x-intercepts, 0 b with 0 and minus b with 0, because the minor axis is along x-axis. Also, the relation between A and B and C is still the same. In the second case, C squared equal A squared minus B squared. Now we are going to discuss an example. Find the coordinates of foci, find the lengths of major and minor axis, graph the following equation: 9x squared plus 16y squared equal 144. We observe that this equation looks like an ellipse, but not in a standard form. If we want to put it in the standard form, we need to make this 144 on the right hand side 1. So we divide all parts of this equation by 1. This implies that x squared over 16 plus y squared over 9 equals 1. Now look, the bigger under x squared, 16 bigger than 9, and the bigger under x squared, so this is an equation of ellipse in the first case. To compare this equation, we compare this equation with the equation on the first case, x squared over a squared plus y squared over b squared equal 1. So this means that a squared equals 16, and this implies that a equal 4. Also b squared equal 9, this implies that b equals 3. And from the relation between a and b and c squared equals a squared minus b squared. So c squared equals 16 minus 9 equals 7. So c equal root 7. Now the foci has coordinates c and 0 and minus c and 0, and c equal root 7. So these are the foci. Also, the vertices has the coordinates a and 0 and minus a and 0, and because a equals 4, so the vertices has a 4 and 0 and minus 4 and 0. On the same way, the y-intercepts are 0 and 3 and 0 and minus 3. The length of major axis to A, so 2 multiply 3 equals 6. The length of minor axis to multiply B, so 2 multiply 4 equal 8. And to graph the ellipse, we can graph like as shown here in the figure. Another example says find the coordinates of foci and the length of major and minor axis and sketch the graph of the following graph. This graph is 2x squared plus y squared equal 10. This equation looks like an ellipse but not in a standard form. So we need to make this 10 1 to put this equation in the standard form. So we divide all parts of this equation by 10. This implies that x squared over 5 plus y squared over 10 equal 10 over 10 يعني equal 1. Look, the bigger now is 10, 10 bigger than 5 under y. So this is an equation of ellipse in the second case. So we compare this equation with the standard equation of the second case, x squared over b squared plus y squared over a squared equal 1. This implies that a squared equal 10, yani a squared equal root 10. Also, b squared equal 5, so b equal root 5. Also from the relation c squared equal a squared minus b squared, so c squared equal 10 minus 5 يعني c squared equal 5 يعني c equal root 5. Therefore the vertices has the coordinates 0 and a and 0 and minus a and 0 and root 10 and 0 and minus root 10. The coordinates of foci are 0 and c and 0 and minus c and 0 and root 5 and 0 and minus root 5. Also the x-intercepts are b0 and minus b0, b equal root 5, so root 5 and 0 and minus root 5 and 0, and we can graph, we put all this point on this figure and graph this point. Thank you very much.